Hello people, in today's lecture we're gonna implement the filter for our client to be able for filtering for the dishes that he wants. Let's create a new class here for dish filter VM. Let's create a decimal here for mean price, another for maximum price. Create a string here for search, an int64 here for category ID. Create a public list of select list item for our categories and a list of dish. And these will be our filtered dishes. Okay, so we can go to our repository for our dish repository here. We can create here a new method, a public async task that will return an ilist of dish, and the name of it will be get filtered dishes. And this will receive a decimal with mean price, a decimal with max price, along with the category ID, and a string with a search. Okay, let's create our query now. Let's go to context, dishes, include our category as queryable. When we call as queryable, we are creating a query. So this was not executed in the database yet. So we can construct our query here. If max price has value, we'll say the query will be equals query where the price is less or equals the max price value. Let's say if mean price has value, the query where price for greater or equals the mean price value. For the category, let's say category ID has value, the query will be where the category ID is equals category ID value. Now, if my string is not null or empty, but it's not null or empty, so our query will be where our x dot name contains the search, or it contains the search in the description, and I can return await query to list async. So let's recapitulate what we did here. We received our parameters in our get filtered dishes. We created a query. We are verifying if it has value because the user don't want to inform the mean price, so it will not be inserted in the query. So if the user just set a max price, the mean price will be 0. It will be nothing actually. The category ID, if the user don't supply, it will get all the categories. And the search, if the user search like PEZ, he will search for pizza, he will search for everything that has the letters that or contains in the name or contains in the description. And I will return it to list a thing. So now we can go to our controller, go to the normal's area dish controller. We can say the category repository here because we are gonna use it to get our categories, add the parameters. Let's say here I'll have my dish filter VM. I'll receive it in the parameter of my action. Now I can get my filtered dishes. Let's say await dish repository. Instead of get all, I'll get my filtered dishes. I'll pass my filter min price, filter max price, filter category ID, and filter search. After getting it, I'll have my filtered dishes, and I'll set my filtered dishes to list. So instead of returning my dishes directly, I'll return my filter, and in the filter I'll have my filter dishes, and in the filter I want to get my categories. Let's create a private method here, async task that will return a list of select list item. Let's say get categories. Let's get our categories. Await category repository gets all, and let's return our categories selected. New select list item. The value is gonna be our ID to string, and the text is gonna be our name, and everything is gonna be converted to a list. Let's use it to get our categories. Let's await for that operation to be completed. And that's it for this lecture. In the next lecture, we're gonna implement this filtering in Vue. So see you again.